Passive voice verbs, part 1. Simple past tense. In this video, you will learn how to frame sentences using the passive form of the verb, how to identify the doer of the action. Listen and repeat the past participle verbs given below. Hit, taken, admitted, treated, given, operated, asked, informed, recorded, arrested, put. Now, observe how the verbs are used in a story. Mike loves to listen to music. He loves it so much that he generally walks on the road with his headphone on. So, one day, Mike was hit by a speeding car. He was taken to a nearby hospital by kind onlookers. He was admitted and treated immediately. He was given injections and his broken leg was operated on. He was asked to stay in the hospital for a week. His parents were informed about the accident and they were brought in a taxi to the hospital. His statement was recorded by the police. The driver of the car will be arrested soon and put in jail. Now, answer the questions here. Mike was hit by a speeding car. Who or what is the subject of the sentence? Who is doing the action hit? Mike is the subject of the sentence. The action of hitting is done by the car or the driver of the car. So the doer of the action is the car or the driver of the car. So the driver of the car is doing the action of hit. But the subject of the sentence is Mike. Now here are some important observations. Mike, the subject, is not doing any action. Mike is passive. Mike, the subject, is not doing any action. Here the subject is passive, not acting. So the verb is in the passive voice. Let us look at the other sentences in the story. Here, he was taken to a nearby hospital by kind onlookers. He is the subject, but the action of taking is done by the onlookers. Once again, the subject is not acting. The subject is passive. The verb is in the passive voice. He was admitted and treated. He is the subject, but admitting and treating are done by other people. He was given injections. His broken leg was operated on. He is the subject, but the action of giving injections is done by somebody else. The action of operating is done by somebody else. He is not acting. He was asked to stay in the hospital for a week. He is the subject, but the action of asking is done by somebody else, perhaps the doctor. His parents were informed. They were brought in a taxi. So, informing is done by somebody, but the subject of the sentence is parents. His statement was recorded. His statement is the subject. Action of recording is done by the police. The driver of the car will be arrested. Here, action of arresting will be done by the police, but the subject of the sentence is the driver. When we want to make sentences where the subject is not doing any action, we need to use was with a past participle if the subject is singular, or were with a past participle if the subject is plural. And here are some very commonly used past participle verbs. So we can say was seen, was beaten, was built, was examined, were measured, were ordered, were taught, were thrown. Now, use the cues given to make sentences in the passive voice. 2 examples have been given. Dog, operate, wet. And the sentence you get is the dog was operated by the vet. The action of operating is done by the vet, but the subject of the sentence is dog. The dog is doing nothing. The dog is passive. Car, burn, mob. The car was burnt by the mob. Criminal, arrest, police. The criminal was arrested by the police. Dog, brush, half an hour. The dog was brushed for half an hour. Different kinds of kites, fly, festival of kites. Different kinds of kites were flown during the festival of kites. Shop, loot 2 days ago. The shop was looted 2 days ago. Window pane, break, angry customers. The window pane was broken by angry customers. Accused, send, jail, 1 month, judge. The accused was sent to jail for 1 month by the judge. Vegetables, chop, large pieces, put large pan. The vegetables were chopped into large pieces and put into a large pan. Here, were is optional. It's not compulsory to use were. Leopard, capture, forest, last night. A leopard was captured in the forest last night. Protesters beat police yesterday. The protesters were beaten by the police yesterday. Congratulations! You have learned how to frame sentences using the passive form of the verb. Thank you.